like a thorn in my side. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Cupid Parasite, sweet and spicy darling fan disc. I was looking at some of I haven't really looked at the review of Toby Kitten, so I was like kind of reading it over and just to see her thoughts. And apparently there is some uh really spicy stuff in this. So why it's only rated T, I don't just know, because like the first one was rated T, and that was borderline M in my opinion. Even on the Idea Factory International site, like when you can request key reviews, it was rated 18 right there on there too. And so I'm like, and the fact that there's more in this, and no surprise that there's a lot in Shelby's route. I mean, if we remember Shelby's route from before. So I hope I can handle it when that time comes. Also, apparently Jupiter's route is really bad, and I want to read it, but I want to take it with a grain of salt because if it's really bad, I'll just throw it out of my mind and I won't remember it anyway, and we'll just remember what happens in the original. Because apparently, like, even though it takes place after they've been married, you know, they were married a long time in Celestia and they started rebuilding a new Celestia. Well, apparently, like, their relationship is still not like solid or anything like that. They still have like this awkward relationship. I'm like, well, we'll just have to see when we get there. Also, when I was doing like a kind of rough playthrough of how I'm going to go, I think I forgot to mention Gil, and I'm really sorry that I forgot to mention Gil. I haven't edited that video yet, so I'll have to go back and I'll put something up there saying, "Oops, sorry, Gil. We still love you, Gil." But apparently, you know, Gil's route is a typical Gil Lovecraft former forlorn parasite route. So pretty much plays how the exact same way as how he was in the original. So yeah, there was a couple of routes that Tommy Kitten wasn't very fond of, but that doesn't say anything for me really, because I tend to like some of the things that they had negative responses to, and I mean some of the ones that they really liked, I'm just like, whoa. Apparently there's some crazy stuff in Raoul's route. Like if you thought Raoul's route was crazy, then crank it up by 10. That's this route. So, and I knew that this Fandis was going to be crazy, but they just confirmed it also that it's really crazy. So, yep, can't wait to see what all that is about. So the revised playthrough that I want to go is Ryuki, Shelby, Gil, New Parasite, Jupiter, Alan. And so however terrible Jupiter's route is, it'll be ended with Alan. And they even said that Alan's ending is really good. One day has passed since we've returned to Lost York. I was back in the office hard at work.
Mira-san! こっちのお客様お願い!
Sure thing. Feels like it's been ages since I've been here. I followed up with the clients that I've been working with before my vacation. Then I checked with some inactive clients before long the day ended. Nice way to sum up the day, huh? After work, I headed straight to Ryuki's boutique. We had made plans to have dinner at a nearby restaurant. Come to think of it, I was thinking about moving. Unexpectedly, Claris had mentioned moving out. Are you going to move in with Ryuki?
二人とも付き合い始めたんでしょ? なら私出てくわよ。ここに二人で住んだらいいじゃない。
I mean, he has a place too.
あ、でもあっちに引っ越す可能性もあるのか。まあ、決まったら言ってちょうだい。実は私、真実の愛を探す旅に出ようかなって思ってるの。
And she doesn't have to watch out for you anymore. She can go on to her succubus ways. Clara's words took me by surprise. It had been on my mind to live with Ryuki since our trip to Japan. The question is now, where should we live? Ryuki's house was spacious. Perhaps it wouldn't have been a bad idea for me to move in with him if he agreed. He could work and keep the place humidified there. My apartment was also an option. We could even search for a new place. But I need to discuss the living together with him first. When I finally made it to Ryuki's boutique, I was still lost in thought. There I discovered an unexpected guest, Raoul.
入らない。
It did mention that there was some kind of like love rival for Ryuki because he feels like inadequate, I guess, for Lynette. I wonder if it's Raoul. Funny.
ちょっと、無理に着ようとするなんてバカじゃないの？一旦脱いで。ああ、もう、丁寧に扱ってよね。そこ掴んだら生地が伸びるでしょ？こっち持って。
Raoul was struggling to put on one of Ryuki's designs. It didn't fit and he got himself stuck in a ridiculous position. Ryuki forcefully removed the clothing, shooting Raoul a frosty glare that I hadn't seen in a while.
ドレーピングでパターンを取ってるから、体にフィットしないってことはありえないし。そもそも、採寸してあんたぴったりに作ったはずなんだけど、どういうことなの？
He grew in muscles.
ああ、ドーナツのせいかも。
Oh, he grew in the stomach department. Okay.
ドーナツ？太ったってこと？
いや、筋トレしすぎただけかな。
Oh, okay. Well, how lucky that he can just turn donuts into muscles.
は？筋トレ？
実は最近すっごく美味しいドーナツに出会っちゃってさ、毎日食べてるんだ。でも毎日食べたら太ると思って太る前に筋トレのメニューを増やしたんだけど、そのせいで筋肉量が増えちゃって。
じゃあ何？筋肉のせいでうちの服が入らなくなったってこと？
Ryuki looks disgusted.
多分。
はあ？モデルなら体型維持ぐらい仕事のうちじゃないの？今シーズンうちのモデルはラウル・アコニットに決まってるんだ。撮影用のスーツは全部あんたにサイズ合わせて作ってるんだけど。
ああ、だよね。ごめん。どうしよう。
Stop eating donuts and stop working out.
こっちのセリフだよ。
Ryuki let out a deep sigh. I was hesitant to interrupt. Raoul could fit because of his increased muscle mass. He must have been training quite rigorously. Raoul's chest definitely looked more muscular. Not being able to fit into clothes due to gaining weight was common, but not because of sheer muscle bulk. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised since Raoul Aconite was an action star.
あ、リネット。
Ryuki finally noticed I was there. He quickly folded the clothes in his hands. Sorry to bother you, but is everything okay?
全然。はあ、あさって撮影だから最終チェックのつもりだったのに、これじゃ撮影を伸ばさなきゃいけないじゃないか。でももう印刷の手配は終わってるし、リリース日から逆算すると伸ばせても 2,3 日程度なんだよな。ラウル、撮影までに筋肉落とす自信はある？
それが明日プロテインの CM 撮影が入ってるんだよね。ボルダリングジムで。
それ余計に筋肉が増える仕事じゃないの。
やっぱり？
はあ。
Ryuki shot Raoul a cold, frustrated look. His model couldn't fit into his latest design he prepared during our trip. He was sincerely angry as a designer.
仕方ないな。こうなったら。
あ、そうだ。俺の事務所にいいモデルが入ったんだよ。その子を紹介するっていうのはどう？
はあ？新しいモデル？そもそもラウルが適任だと思ったからあんたに頼んだんだけど、全部計算して作ってるんだからそんな簡単に変える選択はできないよ。
まあまあ、とりあえず見てみてよ。サイズは俺よりも細めだけど似合うと思うんだよね。
まあサイズを絞るのであれば大きくするよりはイメージを保ったまま調整できると思うけど。
マネージャーも事務所も推してるすっごいファッションモデルなんだ。だからきっと気に入ると思うよ。
Who is it? And just like that, the model for the Ryuki brand photo shoot was abruptly switched. However, this new model was in high demand and he wasn't available for a fitting until the day of the shoot. The day of the shoot arrived amid much anxiety. The rescheduled shoot fell on the same day as I was supposed to have a date with Ryuki. Oh no. Instead, he invited me to the shoot. The location was an open area on the cape with a beautiful ocean view. This place is so beautiful. Is this where you're having the shoot?
ごめん。今日が撮影になっちゃって。本当ならあんたと二人きりでここに来てたはずなのに。
Ryuki surveyed the area.
これが人工島だなんて想像できないね。もともとここにあったみたいだ。
Yeah, the size of the island is astonishing. This island, Demore Paradise, was created as a new tourist attraction. Terrorist, my bad. Demore Paradise. The island was made as a new venture in Lost York by the giant corporation Mar Holdings. Hotel, restaurant, apparels, beauty salon, the company handled multiple businesses, and now they finally arrived at Lost York. After they created this island, it quickly became a popular spot for Lost York residents to go on dates. That's why we had planned our date here. I really don't mind, but are you sure I won't be in the way of your work here? I had intended to help him, but I was unsure whether I should even be at a professional photo shoot.
邪魔なはずないでしょ。あんたがいる方がずっといい。
Give him motivation.
そうそう、俺も今日待ってる間に先生とギリシャ神話の討論しようと思って本を持ってきてて。
Is that why he likes him? Wait, Rao? I turned in surprise to find Rao and another person. He's definitely smaller than Rao's for sure.
ラウル、そんなことしてる暇があったらサイズを落としたら。
あはは、ごめんね。ということでお待たせ。うちの事務所に入った新進気鋭のスーパーモデル、レイ・アンダーくんです。よろしく。
Wow, he's so pretty. He was very composed and handsome, just what you'd expect from the agency housing the famous Hollywood actor Rao Akonite. His skin was unbelievably fair, and despite his tall stature, his face was quite small. I glanced at Ryuki, thinking Ray would be a perfect replacement, but Ryuki was scrutinizing him intensely.
FFFA.
I'll have to look up what that color is. What color is he referring to? She gonna look it up for me. It says color code black, white, blue, red, yellow, purple, green, golden, more. Which one are you? I checked the color code Ryuki had just mentioned on my smartphone. It was a snow white color. Oh, really?
というか、なんでラウルまで来てるわけ？筋肉減らした？
そう見える？
He's like, yes.
全然ダメ。むしろ胸筋増えて見えるんだけど。
やっぱりそっか。筋肉落とすのって難しいね。一応衣装入ればって思ってきたんだけど、やっぱり無理そうだし、今日の撮影はレイにお願いするよ。
これが新しいモデルか。サイズは少し調整すればどうにかなりそうだね。色は僕のイメージと合わないけど。
でもカメラ向けるとすっごくいい写真が撮れるんだよ。
はあ、ま、ひとまず今回は撮影してみるよ。
よかった。
言っとくけど全然良くないから。 あんたが適任だって今も思ってる。分かってる？
ごめんごめん。次の撮影には間に合うようにウェイトトレーニングを調整しとくから。じゃあレイ、よろしくね。今日着る服はどれ？
Oh, these ones. I brought over a rack full of clothes that were prepared for the shoot to show him the lineup. Suddenly, Ray grabbed my arm. Huh?
これ何？
What do you mean? It's my arm.
君の骨格。
What's wrong with you? Bone structure.
手首の細さに対してここの骨がこれだけ長い人見たことないな。
I think this is who Ryuki's gonna have a pet peeve with. Ray was rubbing my arm as if feeling my bone, then turned my arm over and began rubbing my wrist with his thumb. Long bone, what on earth is he talking about? I didn't know if he was upset or excited, but before I could ask, another hand appeared and swatted his hand away. He's like, don't touch her. It was Ryuki. He tugged me towards him and shot Ray a glare.
勝手に触んないでくれない？時間ないんだけど、フィッティングしなくちゃいけないし、モデルならさっさと服に着替えたら。メイクスタッフだって待たせて。
君が龍騎のデザイナー？
そうだけど。肌の水分量は悪くないみたいだけど、あんたはモデルやって何年経つわけ？
さあ、覚えてないな。そんな情報が必要？結果が全てでしょ。
まともなモデル以外に僕の服は着せたくないだけだよ。
Ryuki straight to the point. Ryuki continued to study Ray with a scrutinizing glare. Meanwhile, our new model Ray was giving Ryuki a similarly appraising look.
これがデザイナーの龍騎か。雑誌に載ってた時と雰囲気違うんだけど、本当に本物？
は？正真正銘本物だけど。
Ray shifted his gaze from Ryuki and focused on the rack of clothes. He then placed his hand on his chin and sighed.
しかも今シーズンの服もこんなもんか。でもま、これなら俺にも一応合いそうかな。別に着てあげてもいいよ。
These two are not going to get along very well.
は？
Oh no. The tension was palpable. I could immediately tell that they were like oil and water. Just like Ryuki and Ray were about to clash, Rock quickly intervened with a smile.
すごい！二人とも黄金のリンゴを取り合うヴィーナスとジュノーとミネルヴァみたいだね。
は？
それよりさ、こう見えてレイって龍騎の服が好きなんだよ。初めてうちの事務所に来た時に着てたよね。
全然そんな風に見えないんだけど。
I think Ray is just jealous of Lynette.
ああ、この間着てたピスタチオグリーンの服のこと？あれは去年のコレクションで気に入ってるのだったから着てただけだよ。あ、やっぱりだよね。だから今日の撮影にもぴったりじゃないかって思ったんだ。でも俺が龍騎の服を気に入ってたのは去年の春頃までだよ。
Oh, is that when his brand changed because he fell in love?
去年の秋冬頃からパターンも色使いも変わって人気は出たかもしれないけど、代わりに俺に似合わなくなった。もっと尖ってて他人を寄せつけない感じのデザインが俺には似合うんだよ。だから今のは気に入らない。
はあ？別にあんたの意見なんて聞いてないし、あんたのために作ってる服じゃないんだけど。
いや、服はモデルのためにあるんだろ。
は？何言ってんの？僕が作りたいものを作るだけだけど。それを着こなすのがモデルの仕事だろ。
だからこんなブレブレなのか。
は？
Oh, there's a choice. That was abrupt. Rock tried to lighten the mood, but the tension quickly returned. The correct answer is suggest they have a meeting, and we're going to suggest getting right to the shoot instead. Why don't we get started with the shoot right away, before the weather changes? I quickly handed the clothes to Ray and ushered him to the changing room we had set up. The staff quickly started adjusting the size of the clothes and applying makeup to our model while Ryuki performed the final checks.
動かないで。
動いてないけど。
You're gonna spray him? Okay, we're almost done. I went to fetch the photographer to commence the shoot. Alright, let's go back up and choose the other one. And the correct answer is suggest they have a meeting. Instead of just standing around, why don't we have a meeting about today's shoot so that...
必要ない。打ち合わせても、こいつには理解できないから。
確かに理解できないだろうな。センスの枝が折れてしまった人の話は。
They clearly don't like each other.
はあ
Oh, okay. Why don't we just dive into the shoot then, before the weather changes? Seeing the situation wasn't going to improve, I quickly handed the clothes to Ray and ushered him to the changing room we had set up. The staff quickly started adjusting the size of the clothes and applying makeup to our model while Ryuki performed the final checks. I went to fetch the photographer to commence the photo shoot. Unfortunately, Ryuki's mood didn't improve throughout the shoot, resulting in an unpleasant atmosphere. Oh yeah, he was insulted.
じゃあ本日はありがとうございました。お先失礼します。お写真データは来週中にはお送りいたしますので。
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to the pictures. Now that the shoot was over, I turned my attention to the model Ray as he changed his clothes and removed his makeup. Right under, I could see why his agency pushed him. He was a perfect model. The moment the camera pointed his way, he transformed. His expression was perfect and his poses were striking and original.
こっちから指示しなくても、求められているものを完璧に理解してるし。
He wasn't a model who worked for clothes. He made the clothes work for him, meaning ordinary designs wouldn't match his style. I worked with many talented models before, but he made them all seem downright pedestrian.
こんなモデルがいたなんて。
His skin was perfectly exfoliated and didn't require any mist during the shoot. A model who could bring out the best of any clothing. That was why he annoyed me. He grabbed Lynette's hand and praised her frame.
さっきのあれ、何だったわけ？ありえないんだけど。
Ryuki, are you okay?
うん。
Lynette was standing there worrying about me. I should have been at ease with her by my side, wearing the wedding ring that I made, but I felt strangely anxious.
あの男の顔面偏差値が完璧だからだ。並大抵の努力では到達できないぐらい。
お疲れ掲載員くん。無事に撮影終わってよかった。お
I instinctively misted Rao's skin as I noticed some rough patches.
あ相変わらずだねこれ。
I like Ryuki. Rao's like, good job. His response is, spray. No words, just you need a spray.
というか、なんで撮影に混ざってないあんたの肌が荒れてるのさ。T ゾーンがガサついてるんだけど、それじゃ化粧乗らないでしょ。
先週クランチキャニオンでロケしてたからかな。
クランチキャニオン？なら余計、ロケ終わったらすぐにケアしないと。一度悪化すると、なかなか元に戻らないよ。あそこは乾燥地帯だから、間違いなく肌荒れするだろうね。紫外線も強烈だし。
I would have been misting myself repeatedly if I were there. I misted myself a bit just from the thought of my skin drying. That was when I noticed Ray looking at me.
それ、何？
何って、保湿用のフェイスミスト化粧水だけど。
へえ、化粧水？スキンケアなんて必要？
当然でしょ。
普通、スキンケアなんてしなくても美は保てると思うけど。
まさかスキンケアをしてないわけ？モデルのくせに。
俺には必要ないから。
He was truly telling me that he has skin without applying any skincare treatments or moisturizer.
嘘だ。そんな人いるわけない。あの父さんや姉さんだってスキンケアではいいのを使ってる。
Ryuki's going to see him as like the perfect example of a man and try to live up to that expectation. I could see it.
スキンケアなしで美を保つ人なんて、それこそモデルになるために生まれてきたようなもの。天性の才能。天才。
はあ、それより喉乾いたな。水取ってくれる？ラウル君。
はーい。
ちょっとレイ、ラウルは先輩なんだからタメ口じゃダメだっていつも言ってるでしょ。
During the shoot, 483D8B, the manager, joined and was now scolding Ray. He was still a novice in the modeling industry. In fact, according to the documents Rao had sent me, Ray was younger than me.
年下なのに、あれだけ美が完成されていて、周囲に惑わされないぐらい自己が確立しているなんて。
You're gonna feel inferior to a teenager? Don't take that. You just turned 20. You can hold nothing back now, right?
それより、ここってナイトマーケットがあるんだよね。ラウル君、食べに行かない？このインステに上がってるルーローハンっていうのと、このヌードルみたいなやつ食べてみたいんだ。
おー、美味しそう。
ラウル、あなた減量中でしょ。
No more muscles for you.
あ、そうだった。ってことでごめんレイ。俺今食事制限してるから食べられないや。
食事制限？何のためにそんなことするの？
ダイエットかな。
大変だね。好きなもの食べられないのって。
レイはいくら食べても太らないもんね。いいな。
普通のことだろ？好きなものを好きに食べるのが美しさの秘訣だよ。
That's definitely not true.
いくら食べても太らない。
Caffeine or chocolate or whatever directly reflects on my face. So if I want to avoid acne, I have to not eat those things. So that's definitely not true. What you eat can definitely show in your skin or beauty or whatever he said. Staying beautiful.
食事は美容の要。完璧な美を追求する計算池の10か条にも栄養バランスについて書いてある。肌の水分量、油分、張りやツヤを保つために、適切な体型を維持するためにも、努力は不可欠なはずなのに。
Maybe he's a god in disguise.
なのに、レイは何を食べても、あの肌と体型を維持できるってこと。
He was a true talent, perhaps even exceeding my father or sister in that respect.
帰ろう、リネット。
Huh? Okay. Lynette looked confused, but I grabbed her hand and hurried as if I was running away. Why is that in quotation marks?
ダメだ。気にする必要ない。
I kept reminding myself not to be distracted, but I was afraid that there really was someone that gifted. In contrast, I was only who I was thanks to sheer effort.
努力して当たり前だったのに。
Don't pay any attention to him. Let him have his own life. You don't have to worry about that stuff. A talent like him took to liking to Lynette, and I hadn't married her yet. I escaped from Demar Paris and went back to my place with Lynette. I tried to call it Parasite. Opening the fridge, I realized that I was out of ingredients. It was only then I remembered I was supposed to get some food at Demar Paradis. Funny bone and spicy nando.
やっぱりここのパン、最高ね。
A few days later, Clarice and I were having our usual breakfast.
それより、あなたってば、いつ彼氏と同棲するの？
Well, about that, we really didn't get a chance to talk it over on our last date. Ryuki had been acting strangely since that day. After we returned from Demore Paradise, we went grocery shopping, but he didn't even pick up the natto he loves. He just stood there in a daze. We didn't find the right moment to talk about moving in together, so I came home without any concrete plans. Is it even okay to live together before we're married?
はあ？今さら何言ってるのよ。4年間、彼氏でも何でもない男とルームシェアしてたでしょ？
She has a point. True, but her words brought back memories of Gil Lovecraft, who took care of me when I first arrived in the human realm. He confessed his love, but I rejected him because I always thought he liked Clarice. I explained to him that I only saw him as a friend. Since then, I hadn't heard from Gil. I felt sorry for what I said, but I didn't think apologizing was right, so I let it be.
というか、ロサンヨークで結婚前の同棲を気にする人なんていないと思ってたけど。
I guess so, but Ryuki adheres to Japanese tradition, so I thought it might be a problem for him.
何？まだそういう話してないの？
We did agree that we were going to get our marriage license, and we've set our wedding date, so I think everything will work out.
ふん。ま、決まったらすぐに教えて。私もどうしようかなって悩んでるから。
Wait, what are you deciding?
だってあなたたち見てたら結婚もいいなって思っちゃって。恋人作りたくなっちゃった。
Are you, though? You're a succubus. Are you serious, Clarice?
何よ、私だって一応たった一人と真剣に付き合う気分になる時もあるんだから。
The music that they choose to to quote throw curveballs towards what? You're thinking that? It did a much better job in the original game, I think. This music for Clara's out of the blue wanting to go steady, I don't know. It doesn't have the same impact. Anyway, that's just my rambling 2 cents. So she could be serious too. It just changes again. It was amazing to think Clarice being in a committed relationship. It seemed like just yesterday that Clarice was advocating for dating around. I was actually quite pleased that my relationship with Ryuki prompted her to consider a steady relationship for herself. Wait, I don't remember sharing anything special about Ryuki or our relationship with Clarice.
あ、てかこれ見た？あなたの彼氏のブランド、話題になってるみたいだけど。
Really? Clarice pulled up a trending Instagram post to show me. Our Ryuki seems like he was born to wear this new piece, doesn't it? I want to see him walking on the runway at Paris Fashion Show. Our Ryuki designer is still young, looking forward to more. Ray Under's being called a top model already, even though he's still new, right? All thanks to our Ryuki. There on the screen was the latest lineup of Ryuki's designs that had recently been photographed. Wow, this is amazing. Ryuki really puts all of his designs into this. Wait, what? Taking a closer look at the Instagram post, I saw that all the comments were about a new model, Ray Under. With that model, he has such a small face. He gives the clothes a new look. I want my boyfriend to wear it. I set that as my lock screen. Ray and Ryuki together. Isn't that the ultimate duo? Who is this model? His face is so tiny. Hashtag Ryuki. Ryuki's clothes look so different on him. I want my boyfriend to wear them too. I already said all that. A barrage of similar comments popped up under the hashtag Ryuki. Well, the picture is quite impressive. I understood why Rao had recommended this new model from the agency. His inclusion had certainly heightened the visibility of the Ryuki fashion brand. It did help to have the red carpet experience when launching the Case IN plus Finn. I bet Ryuki is going to be busier than ever now. Which means that we won't have much time to be together to go out on dates and things. Ryuki was a designer, but he was so much more than just that. He selected the materials, the samples, researched trends, designs, promoted himself at events, and oversaw manufacturing. He had others to help him at work, but as the head of 2 brands, he was swamped. Maybe it's best for us to live together. If we lived together, we could spend more time with each other, and I could assist Ryuki in small ways like making dinner. However, I was unsure if I could adhere to the tenets of the Keisen family. But I do want to spend more time with him, and maybe we should talk it out the next time we're together. I continued to scan the Instagram comments, lost in my thoughts. Now then, what do we have for today? The usual array of tasks awaited me as I arrived at work. I needed to meet some of our members and reach out to those who were making little progress. As a human assistant, I continued to participate in seminars and perform tasks befitting a Cupid. Speaking of which, Melanie and Owen aren't making much progress towards marriage. Their status is still listed as dating. They could move on from Cupid Corp once they got married, but it seemed they weren't quite there yet. Maybe I should speak with Melanie next time. This is like the only route with her together, isn't it? Wait, no. Maybe that was in the common route. I wonder what to do for them while continuing my work. Neither of them were assertive, so pushing them might not be the best approach. Before I knew it, I finished my morning task and I was finally able to leave my chair. Alright, my morning tasks are done. Time to grab some lunch. As I waited for the elevator, I considered what to get for lunch. The door suddenly opened.
ああ、よかった。ここにいたね。
Of course he's going to come to your work. Huh? To my surprise, a familiar face stepped out of the Cupid Corp elevator. It was none other than Ray Under, the hotshot model that I'd met at the photo shoot.
やっぱりそうだ。肘の付け根は見間違いじゃなかった。
So weird. My elbow. He stepped out of the elevator and quickly grabbed my wrist. Then he proceeded to stare at my arm. Why a supermodel was so interested in my arm was beyond me. Excuse me, but what brings you here today? Do you need something?
ああ、知らない？俺、キューピッドコーポレーションの次の宣材写真のモデルの仕事をするんだ。
Really? Thank you very much. Knowing that the trending Ray Under would be a model for our new ad was beyond exciting. Cupid Corp was bound to grab a lot of attention if he took the role of poster boy. It would likely spark a surge in memberships, a prospect I was more than happy to entertain as the former Cupid. I'm excited to see how the ad turns out. I thanked him again and tried to wiggle out of his hold, but his grip only tightened.
君、これから昼休憩だよね。俺と一緒に来てよ。
Excuse me, she is an engaged woman.
用意されていた相手役モデルの骨格が最悪だったんだ。
Body frame. Again with the body frame. I'm actually still on the clock and suddenly the elevator's door slid open again and out stepped Ray's manager.
あれい、よかった。ここにいたのね。早く撮影に戻るわよ。スタッフの皆さんをお待たせしているんだから。
そうだね。ということで、彼女も連れて行くよ。
Oh my goodness.
どういう意味？
彼女が俺の相手じゃなきゃ、俺はカメラの前に立たない。
Oh my goodness, that's gonna send so much mixed communication to Ryuki.
はい？何を言ってるの？今回の相手役のモデルはもう決まっているでしょ？
I understand. Oh, we already did this in his other read. Why do you have to do this again?
あんな俺と相性最悪の骨格モデルの隣に俺が立てるはずないだろ。
そうは言ってもね、これは仕事で、彼女だってうちの事務所の実力派モデルとして有名なのよ。
これは黄金比的造形の話だよ。彼女が隣に立てば俺の骨格が映える。俺を生かすためにもあのモデルは使えない。いい広告にするのがモデルの仕事だ。中途半端なモデルに足を引っ張られて最悪の絵面を作る方がプロ失格だろ。
ちょっとあなた、私が中途半端なモデルですって？
How dare you? Yikes, she heard all that? From behind the manager, a stunning model emerged. Apparently she was Ray's original partner for the Cupid Corp shoot.
君もプロのモデルなら分かってるだろ。俺と君の骨格の相性は最悪。単体で撮るなら別にいいけど、今回はペア撮影だ。
はあ？骨格よりも身長とか顔の雰囲気の方が大切でしょ？
骨格が最高のシルエットを作る、そんなのもわからないのか？造形はそれなりに悪くないのに、そんな見極めもできないようじゃ、君もモデルとしてはまだ三流みたいだね。
レイ、彼女の方が先輩なんだから敬いなさいってさっきも言ったじゃない。
マネージャーいいわ。ここまで言われてこんなやつと同じフレームに収まるつもりはないもの。レイはそこの素人と撮りたいんでしょ？なら撮らせてあげればいいじゃない。
なんだ、物分かりいいじゃないか。じゃあマネージャー、俺は彼女と撮るよ。
何言ってるの？こんなこと許すわけにはいかないわ。
いいのいいの。そもそも今回はレイありきの企画でしょ。構図だってそう、彼中心の絵ばっかりよ。だから今日ばかりは私が折れるわ。と言ってもスケジュール開けておいたんだから、ギャラだけはいつも通りよろしくね。
ええ、それはもちろん振り込むわ。でも
いくら言ってもこいつがその気になるはずないわよ。じゃ私は帰るわ。ああ、レイ、最後に一つだけ言っとく。あんた今は売れっ子でチヤホヤされてるけど、そんな態度だったらそのうち痛い目見るわよ。バイ。
With that, she swiftly exited, not giving me a chance to respond. She would have been perfect for the ad. I've been eager to see them together in our campaign, but my hopes were quickly dashed. Ray's stubbornness reminding me of the Parasite 5. If he were seeking a wife, he'd certainly be dubbed as the frame parasite.
困ったわね。
困ることなんてある？彼女が代わりにモデルになるんだから全部解決だろ。
I didn't agree to that. Given the circumstances, there's no way I could refuse. The manager gave me an apologetic look.
ということで申し訳ないんだけれど、モデルの仕事お願いしてもいいかしら。
Hopefully it's like the whole wedding shoot misunderstanding where he just barged in and he's like, stop the wedding. I suppose, but I'm not sure how helpful I'll be. Plus I have my own work. I'll need to get approval from my superiors.
あらそう？なら今すぐ取ってくるわ。
With that, the manager promptly reached out to my superiors. Well, that's good. Before I knew it, I was officially signed on as a model for the shoot.
それで、あんたがあいつと撮ったってわけ？
We just skipped to the confrontation with Ryuki a few days later. Oh my goodness. Ryuki had come across the new Cupid Corp ad, and now I found myself answering his barrage of questions. We're gonna make excuses. I didn't take it. They shopped the image. Oh.
そんなわけないでしょ。この構図でここまで綺麗に合成できるなら、僕がそのカメラマン雇いたいぐらいだよ。
That was a really bad lie. Uh.
それで？
Well, the issue was there weren't any other models available with the right body frame.
骨格？本当にそんなのが理由なわけ？
So I think we can go back up now. And we're going to explain everything truthfully. Okay, I did a shoot with him.
なんで？モデルはいなかったの？
Well, the issue was there weren't any models with the right type of body frame.
骨格？本当にそんなのが理由なわけ？
Yeah, the original model was really cute. Here, look at this. The model in question was a popular Instagrammer with about 200,000 followers. I showed Ryuki a picture and he let out a snort at first glance.
ふーん。確かに相性の悪い骨格だね。
Well, at least they're talking about it. You could tell.
かといってあんたが一緒に写らなきゃならない理由にはならないけどさ。
I'm sorry. I mean, she was practically forced. I apologized to Ryuki, who maintained a grumpy frown as he closed the ad.
いいよ別に仕事だし。あんたが自分の会社の宣伝になると分かってて断るはずないって知ってるから。それにメインは例であんたは後ろ姿ぐらいしか映ってないし全然気にしてない。
Of course it does. It clearly does bother him. The aim of the shoot was to attract new clients, so many of the shoots were designed to look like we were looking for love. Some of the photos we took even had us posing as if we were an actual couple. However, out of consideration for Ray's fans, I was mostly used as a simple backdrop.
ほらそれよりご飯できてるから食べよう。
Here's where you can mention living together. Ryuki sighed a hint of frustration in his voice, but he sat at the table with the dishes he had prepared. We agreed to have dinner together after work, and Ryuki had prepared a selection of Japanese dishes for us. Thank you, I'll have some.
いただきます。
As usual, Ryuki ate with impeccable grace. But something was clearly different tonight. He seasoned his food with condiments he normally wouldn't touch. I watched in surprise as Ryuki liberally applied hot sauce to his natto. Oh my goodness. You're really going to eat that?
何か不満？
Is he going to just eat what he wants now? No, but Ryuki, you're upset about what happened, aren't you?
別に怒ってない。
But you're covering your natto in hot sauce. You never do that.
いつものからしに飽きただけだよ。これもそんなに辛くないし。
It probably is. Ryuki continued to calmly eat his hot sauce-laden natto. It looks incredibly spicy to me. Ryuki usually avoided spicy foods, but he was devouring this dish with ease. Something was definitely off. He's probably always wanted to eat really spicy food, but feared that it would destroy his skin. Maybe this hot sauce isn't as hot as it looks. Curious, I took the hot sauce and added a couple dishes to my natto. One bite was enough to make me grab my tea and gulp it down. Ryuki is eating this? Ryuki, are you sure you're okay?
別に。
Like, whatever. Ryuki continued eating his natto with no change in expression. I couldn't help worrying that he was going to end up with a terrible stomachache later. After Lynette went back home, I changed into some comfortable clothes and went for a walk in Lost York with Kagura. Kagura looked at me expectantly, but I wasn't in the mood to jog. I continued to walk aimlessly, lost in thought.
ごめん。今日は歩かせて。レイみたいなやつが CC の仕事を受けるなんて思わなかった。
He always emphasized that clothes were made for models, so I had assumed he would only work in top-tier brands. I thought Lynette wouldn't ever see him again.
まさかリネットに会うためにわざわざ CC の仕事を選んだ。
Ray showed interest in Lynette. He grabbed her hand and kept looking at her hand as if confirming something. He could have found out where Lynette works by asking his manager or Rao too. I should have thought of that.
違う。考えすぎだ。
But the possibility lingered in the back of my mind. I could tell just by his eyes he was interested in Lynette. As I walked, I found myself in front of Cupid Corp's office.
まだやってるんだ。
There was a 888 E7E going in and out of Cupid Corp. They must have been looking for a partner even at that late hour. There was a number, a color. This is so funny.
そういえばリネットも今日は早番だから早く来られたとか言ってたっけ？
Our dates were disrupted whenever she worked the night shift because the agency stayed busy late into the night. Thinking about someone else's schedule was the first with Lynette. It was something I never thought about before.
初めてのことが多すぎる。
That's why I did it, to know what to think or do when somebody else was making a move on her.
しかもギルまで CC にもう一度入会したとか言ってるし。
Oh my gosh, he thinks everyone's after her. Rahan informed me Gil, known as the level in Parasite, re-enrolled at Cupid Corp with renewed determination. The level in Parasite's return must have been because Lynette was in the ad on that pamphlet, which meant Lynette was now being targeted by people other than Ray. What if I lost Lynette to someone else?
リネット。
I let out a heavy sigh, fearing the possibility of losing her. She still wore the wedding ring I had given her.
でもそんなのじゃ全然虫除けにならない。
You just need to trust her. Trust her that she is not going to just fall for it for some random guy. Wouldn't she have told him that she rejected Gil? I mean, Ryuki already knew that Gil was in love with her because Gil confessed. He got jealous and went and kissed her at the share house. That worry wouldn't even have crossed my mind if we were already married.
今日だって泊まっていけばよかったのに。
Yet she returned home, saying that she had worked the next day. My place was fully stocked with makeup and skincare products she might need. She could have easily gone to work from my place and left her clothes there.
同棲したっていいのに。
I must keep her close. But she had been visiting my place even before we were lovers, so the idea of staying the night might not have crossed her mind.
雨でも降っていれば泊まっていけばって言いやすいのにな。
I immediately shook that thought off. Making up reasons for her to stay wasn't fair. We were lovers. I could just tell her she was welcome to stay, that I wanted her to stay.
そもそも同棲のことを自分から提案すればいいんだ。
But I was afraid she might reject me. It was my first relationship, and I was still unsure of how to handle some things.
結婚前同棲はダメな価値観の家もあるって子供の頃聞いたことあるし、そういうのかもしれないし。
A couple could spend the night together, but moving in should ideally come after marriage. That was why I wanted to follow the accepted norms of my culture. I believe that living together before marriage diminished the significance of the marital bond.
だから早く入籍したいのに。
But we set our wedding registration for December 31st, my birthday, which was still half a year away. To begin with, I haven't even met her parents yet. I couldn't possibly invite her into the Keisayan family without first showing them proper respect. However, she didn't seem to want to introduce me to them, at least not yet.
聞いても毎回はぐらかしてくるし、挨拶なんて必要ないって言うし。
It was fine if Lynette didn't want us to meet. I'd be okay with her simply telling me up front that she didn't want to introduce us. She kept assuring me that I'd meet them someday, so there wasn't much I could do.
かぐら、ごめん、散歩の途中だったね。
Kagura's bark brought me back to reality. I was still full of anxiety as we turned away from Cupid Corp and headed home. They're just not going to talk about it. I guess we'll just watch another one. How matter what? I didn't get to read that. Okay, it was no matter how pretty the color. Talk about Lynette. Morning arrived. I was scrolling through Instagram on my way to work, a routine that involved checking the hashtag Cupid tag. Ray's photos are so nice. This one looks really mature. I joined Cupid Corp because of Ray. I wonder if there are members like Ray. I'm still looking forward to tomorrow's meeting. Ray's photos are so dreamy. He's like the perfect man. Read that. It sure is working wonders. My search results were flooded with comments about Cupid Corp thanks to Ray. His shoot for Ryuki had got a lot of attention, so I guess our ad with him came at a perfect time. Still, Ryuki's all upset. Ryuki, I'm sorry. You're upset about what happened, right?
別に怒ってない。
Nope. When I remember Ryuki's bizarre choice to use the hot sauce, I felt unnerved. Maybe I should go and see him today again. I think he said he had work tonight. As a designer overseeing 2 brands, Ryuki was swamped every day. Come to think of it, I missed my chance to talk to him about us living together again. I hadn't realized up until now, since I'd been so focused on his use of hot sauce. I wonder what Ryuki might think about us living together before marriage. He's totally for it, you should go talk to him. I figured I should ask him first. Considering his strict upbringing by his grandmother, his role as the successor to the Keisayan family, he should be against the idea, or he could be. Well, I suppose I can ask him when we meet next. I sent him a message to arrange our next meeting and then checked out his Ryuki brand on Instagram. All the items for Ryuki's latest collection are sold out. Instagram comments revealed how some lucked out on the latest collection. Others expressed their disappointments about missing out. I was aware of Ryuki's popularity, but the extent of the success was even greater than I imagined. But the way it was selling seemed to shoot beyond anybody's expectations. Adding to this, people kept tagging Ray in their comments. Honestly, Ray did look incredible wearing the Ryuki brand. So incredible, in fact, that he appeared to be bringing out the best of the Ryuki collection. Suddenly, I received a message from Ryuki. I can make it next Thursday. I like how it's got some backlog there so we can read it. The message said he was available next week on Thursday night. That's a long ways, huh? I was happy he texted me, but it was as simple as ever. I also couldn't gauge how much he really wanted to see me. Oh my goodness. Once I arrived at work, I found the place in complete chaos. Oh no.
かしこまりました。
また新規の受付。ミランさん、来たばっかで悪いけど、ちょっと受けられる？
Okay.
よかった。じゃあお願いね。もうあの広告の反響ですごい。新規入会者が増えちゃって。
The ad is responsible for this. I stashed away my bag promptly and jumped into work. I sought out the newcomer who had a brochure featuring Ray in hand. The power of the well-executed ad was now clear to me. Phew, lunchtime at last. It was 3 p.m. Returning to my desk after a late lunch, I dove into checking my overflowing email inbox. The new customers all mentioned seeing the ad with Ray.
はい、あの広告でキューピッドコーポレーションを知って、ああいうかっこいい会員っています？
俺、龍騎の服が好きなんで、アンダーさんのインステフォローしたんですが、そこでここの存在を知ったんですよ。いやあの気難しいアンダーさんが仕事を受けた結婚相談所っていうからには絶対センスいいんだろうって思って。
Ads are certainly powerful. Reflecting on it, we did see a substantial increase in new memberships when we promoted Parasite House. As I was starting to appreciate Ray for agreeing to model in our ad, my desk phone started ringing. It's probably him. Yes, Mira speaking.
あ、ミラさん、実はあなたに担当してもらいたいっていう新規のお客様がいらっしゃったの。これから受けてもらえます？
Is it Ray wanting to be a member? Me, of course, I'd be happy to help.
じゃあ、面談室にご案内するので、対応よろしくお願いします。
A client for me? Who could it be? Who do you think? Auntie O. Okay, not who I thought. I headed into the meeting room and was startled to find Aunt Minerva of all people waiting for me.
キューちゃん、私のことはなんて言うんだった？
Uh-oh, you're about to be scolded. Oops, my apologies. Oh, Lady Minerva, you surprised me, that's all.
まあ驚くのも仕方ないわ。知恵と戦の神である私が人間界に降臨したんだもの。
So, Aunt Lady Minerva, what brings you here today? You're not looking for a partner, are you?
そうよ、婚活。いえ、ラブハンティングをするためにわざわざ人間界に来たのよ。
You have access to the Cupid's bow, right? You could just shoot Ralph. Aunt Minerva reached into her pocket. She pulled out the latest Cupid Corp brochure, flipping it open to Ray's photo. You want him?
私にはね、2000年以上好きだった人がいたんだけど、彼を見た瞬間、電撃が走ったのよ。一目惚れって本当にあるのね。
Oh, this is gonna be funny.
しかもよく見たら、キューちゃんも写ってるじゃない？だから会いに来たってわけ。
How did you get a hold of the brochure, Lady Minerva?
親バカマーズから見せてもらったのよ。キューちゃんが乗ってるって言うんで、あいつ深海中にばらまいてるわよ。
How did Mars get it? He's doing what? Even though I no longer was a god, it was utterly mortifying to know my father was still keeping tabs on me. Wait, he's distributing it around Celestia. Does that mean Lord Jupiter and Lord Neptune have seen it too? If that was the case, this was more than just a simple embarrassment.
ということで、キューちゃん、この人紹介してくれない？
Lady Minerva pointed at Ray, her eyes gleaming. But Ray isn't actually a member here.
あら、知ってるわよ。でも一緒に撮影したんだもの。連絡先ぐらい交換してるでしょ？
The writers are just going to keep pushing them together, aren't they? Well, I wish she had contacted me outside of work hours if she was aware of all this. As usual, gods were arrogant and self-centered. It's true I have his number, but on the day of the shoot, he had rather assertively insisted we exchange contact information. Despite this, I was hesitant to reach out to him regarding personal matters. Lady Minerva, you're capable of meeting Ray without needing my introduction, aren't you?
それはそうなんだけど、彼、キューちゃんを気に入ってるみたいだし、紹介の方が愛が育めそうじゃない？
You can sense his feelings.
知恵の女神ミネルヴァに見通せないことなどないわ。
Minerva smiled so brightly that it was difficult to argue. Fine, but I'm working right now, so do you mind if I contact you later?
はーい。じゃあ、仕事終わりに CC の前で待ってるわ。
What do you mean, wait? Before I could finish my question, she disappeared. Apparently, she used her powers to become invisible. I left the meeting room, my shoulders slumped after the weight of divine unpredictability. It's a long word. Soon after, I discovered one of the advisors noticed me leaving the room without the client and found no one remaining inside. Given that my aunt wasn't dressed in ordinary clothes, rumors began to circulate about the ghost of a lonely woman wandering the halls. At the end of a grueling workday,
キューちゃん、待ってたわよ。
just as she had promised, Minerva was outside waiting for me. Hey, Minerva.
それで、連絡しといてくれた？
No, I was occupied with work and didn't have the chance to reach out yet.
そうよね。じゃあ、一緒にご飯でも食べに行かない？
Oh my
いいお店を見つけたのよ。
Are you going to invite him to dinner? Really? Okay, I guess. I was unsure about my aunt's intentions, but I decided to follow her anyway. Once we arrived at the place she mentioned, her motives became clear. Ray was inside. Oh my goodness.
あれリネット
She knew it. She knew it all along. Ray seemed surprised to see me. To him, my appearance was mere coincidence. As Aunt Minerva confidently made her way into the room, it was apparent that she used her divine power to make this happen. There she goes again. But I, Constance, possessed powers far beyond what I had as Cupid. For instance, Lord Jupiter can control the oceans, and my parents could control the weather just like Lord Jupiter. So for my Aunt Lady Minerva, locating Ray would have been a simple task. She must have used her powers to find him and stage this introduction. She really was as selfish as always. Well, at least this could be coincidence instead of you, like, calling him on your phone. Gods like her are why I'm wary of introducing my parents to Ryuki. My parents were unique. I feared Ryuki would judge me the moment he met them. Hello, Ray. What a coincidence.
ねえ、彼ってどうなった？紹介してくださらない？
Aunt Minerva moved closer to Ray as if this were some kind of distant encounter. He frowned.
その人は
She's my aunt, actually.
おばって言っても私まだ20代だし未婚よ。
In my 20s and single. 20s. I cringed a little inside as she tried to hide the fact that she was thousands of years old.
よければ私のことはレディー・ミネルヴァって呼んでちょうだい。
I don't think he's gonna go for that.
ミネルヴァ
That's her nickname. She's very knowledgeable.
ふーん仲いいんだね
Yes, we have similar interests, so she teaches me about a lot of stuff.
そうそう、仲いいのよ。それよりあなたの話聞かせてもらえるかしら。
いいけど今日は関係者だけのパーティーだって聞いてたんだけど何やってる人
Huh? That's the auntie. Oh my goodness. Tell me, she forced her way into a private industry party. A quick survey of the room confirmed my suspicions. We were surrounded by attractive people who looked like professional models, and we hadn't been stopped by at the entrance. Aunt Minerva had definitely used her powers to get us in.
リネット
Uh-oh. I was surprised. As I was processing this, a familiar voice came from behind me. Ryuki?
どうしてここにあんたがいるの今日はファッション業界の人間しかここにはいないはずだけど
It's my aunt's fault.
まさかレイが呼んだ
Uh-oh. No, that's not it. My aunt kind of brought me along. Let me introduce you, Ryuki. This is my aunt, Lady Minerva.
おばその派手な方が本当にあんたのおばさんなの
Well, at least she didn't go invisible and make this extremely awkward.
ちょっと人のことをおばおば言わないでよ。レディー・ミネルヴァってお呼びなさい。
はあはいはじめまして
Auntie gets angry when I call her my aunt, so it'd be great if you could just call her Lady Minerva.
それはいいけどここに出席してるってことはあんたのおばさんデザイナーなの
No, she isn't a designer. You could say she's more of a model. Which wasn't too far from the truth, considering her depiction in statues worldwide.
ふーん
Ryuki seemed uncertain as he looked at Minerva.
まいいやそれよりせっかく来たなら何か飲む
Okay, well, at least that diffused.
ドリンクの種類もいろいろあるしお腹空いてるなら軽食も頼めるから
Thank you, but are you sure it's okay for me to stay? You mentioned this is an industry exclusive event.
一人ぐらいいいでしょほら
Ryuki was about to take my hand when suddenly the room went dark and a spotlight shone on the stage. It looked like someone was coming on stage.
本日はワールドファッションアワード開催記念のパーティーにお集まりいただきありがとうございます。主催のイーライ・オマールです。私はオマールホールディングスで副社長を務めさせていただいております。以後お見知りおきを。
Okay, well, at least we know he's not the vice president of what, Cupid Corp? Because that's what I was speculating. World Fashion Awards.
ああなんか新しくロサンヨークでやるファッションの大会らしいよ龍騎の方に連絡が来てた
He had been contacted through his boutique, Ryuki, which meant his invention was specifically for his brand and not for Keisei and Posfin. This is an honor, right? The Ryuki brand of clothing was created from scratch by Ryuki. Omar Holdings was a global company based in France, and their recognition meant a lot. Ryuki should have been thrilled, but instead he seemed indifferent and didn't even look at the stage.
それよりほら早く行こう
Ryuki turned his back on the stage and led us to the bar. As we walked away, I saw Minerva engage in what seemed like an interrogation with Ray, who wore a look of discomfort on his face. Oh, well, good luck. The next morning, I was in a very bad mood. Oh my goodness.
リュウキーデザイナー。接客は私がしますので、今日は休まれていた方が。
That's funny. That one line, I was in a very bad mood.
別にいいでしょ。買いに来る客層を見てるだけだよ。
そうでしたか。失礼しました。
Clientele of Ryuki had obviously changed since I had Ray under model for my brand. He'd attracted numerous new customers. He was undoubtedly a gifted model who knew precisely how to use his body and expressions. My mind kept telling me that employing him as my model was a wise decision, but my heart begged to differ.
だって、レイは、あいつに親戚を紹介されてたんだ。
Oh my goodness.
僕より先に。
It just keeps going downhill.
僕はまだ、両親も紹介されてないのに。
It was frustrating. I didn't want him going near Lynette.
嫌だ。
I didn't even want to lay eyes on him regardless of his FFFAFA beauty.
もともと、今シーズンはラウルをモデルに使う予定だったんだ。あいつがいいモデルかどうかなんて関係ない。元のモデルに戻すだけだ。
I was fully aware that replacing Ray could significantly impact my sales. I understood his worth, yet I couldn't reconcile with it. I found it hard to accept that he was an exceptional model. Yeah, we'll just scrap him, it's fine. Between reason and emotion. I guess we're gonna go ahead and stop here because they're ended up being pretty short and it's a good place. The last one could be extra long, or I could chop it up into 2 more. We'll have to see. And then I'm probably going to make an episode separate for the ending. So there will probably be 5 episodes per character, even though I'm trying not to, but I don't want the episodes to be extremely long either. So people can, read them without having to like pause and come back later because it's just so long. Anyway, well, Ryuki has a competitor for love, even though it's the competition is all in his head. He's making it up and he's making it super complicated, and so I guess we'll have to deal with that again in this route. Although the review said that he gets over it fairly quickly, so hopefully maybe things will happen. They'll just move in together and he'll be happy. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.